Alright everyone, welcome back. So we continue our prospect pool overviews today with the Anaheim Ducks. Apologies if I look a little bit weird, I just woke up from a nap. So Anaheim's interesting with me because, they were really bad this year, and even though they missed out on the superstar and Connor Bedard, they're still in a really good spot right now overall as a team. They have a lot of really good prospects, and even though a lot of their guys have already graduated to the NHL, the pool is still relatively deep. So let's start off with their first guy they selected in this past draft, and that's Leo Carlsson. He's a center slash right wing from Karlstad, Sweden. 6', 398 pounds. He won the U18 World Junior Championship gold medal in 21-22. He was drafted second overall in 2023, so of course the most recent draft pick the Anaheim's made in the first round. He played 44 games in the SHL, 10 goals, 15 assists, 25 points with the Orebro HK. So, Carlson with me, and a lot of people were saying, oh, Fantilli, they should have picked Fantilli over Carlson, and oh, Carlson was such a dumb pick. First off, it's not. Second, Fantilli, I don't even think wanted to go to Anaheim. I believe if I read the reports correctly, he told Anaheim he didn't want to play for him. So that's kind of the factor why, they didn't select him. It's not because, they thought Carlson was the better player. Fantilli probably didn't want to play for him, so they resulted in picking Carlson, which was not a bad pick either. Carlson, I've liked a lot, and I've liked a lot since I started knowing about him. He has experience in this pro level of hockey, and he knows how to play against men and other people that are, older than him and have more experience. And that's something that's huge, playing for a league like that in the SHL and coming to a league in the NHL like that. I think it's huge to get a guy like Leo Carlsson on your lineup for that very reason. So I like the Carlsson draft pick a lot. Really good prospect. Will turn out to be a great player in the NHL. Likely is going to make the jump this coming season. It's looking like that will be the possibility that does happen. Jacob Perreault is up next, and Perreault was selected in 2020, a right wing from Montreal, Canada, 5'11", 192 pounds. He has not won any tournament things or anything like that. He was drafted 27th overall in 2020, as I mentioned, so the later draft pick in Anaheim's draft there. 48 games played, 8 goals, 11 assists, 19 points with the San Diego Gulls. His development has kind of accelerated a little bit, but the issue with that too is you look at those points in the AHL, it makes you a little bit concerned for what's coming in the NHL. Is he really going to be the solid top 6 player, or is he going to be a solid middle or bottom 6 type player that he's kind of being, projected to be right now? So we'll find out with Perreault, but his development's it's accelerated, yes, but this year was a little bit of a drop if we're looking at point production wise. But of course, we'll find out where Jacob Perreault and his path goes to the NHL. I'd imagine he plays games in the NHL next season. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Next up, Nathan Gauthier, as your other guy. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize if I am to the Ducks gurus out there. He's a center from Longeville, Canada. He's 6'3", 207 pounds. He's a 2-time World Junior Gold Medal winner, and he actually won the Memorial Cup this past year with the Remparts. So congratulations to him on winning that. That's huge. And he also played decently well with the Remparts. He was drafted 22nd overall in 2022, so kind of forgotten about, but still a really good player and could be a great player to add to that roster. 44 games played, 22 goals, 24 assists, 46 points with the Remparts. But as well as that, too, he's profiled as a big, physical, two-way center, which could be huge there for Anaheim. And that's really, honestly, you look at that, you got a center/right wing, a right wing, and a center. That could be a first line there, or a really solid power play coming in with these 3 players. So, people talk about the Killorn and Gudas contracts saying they don't make much sense. You're correct, because you look at these guys that are coming up. Why would you sign those guys if you're just going to have these guys come up and play third line anyways? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But overall, that's your forward core of your best forward prospects. I like all of them a lot, definitely. Now, where it gets really interesting is the defense. And Olen Zellweger is really underrated. People don't talk about Zellweger enough as a player who, has been really good the past couple of years. He's a defenseman from Calgary, Canada, 5'10", 183 pounds. And yes, he's a little bit shorter than other defensemen, and that plays a role, kind of. But he still uses that to his advantage. He's a two-time World Junior Championship gold medal winner. So, that's obviously great. He was drafted 34th overall in 2021, so just barely outside of the first round. He played 55 games this past year with the Blazers and the Silvertips. Had 32 goals, 48 assists for 80 points as a defenseman, which I thought was very impressive there. And the fact that Zellweger put up those numbers, being an offensive defenseman that he is, it shows that he could have some really good offensive upside in the NHL for sure. So, could be a second-round steal. It could be a huge second-round steal there for Anaheim. But, of course, this coming year, we'll see him make that jump to the NHL most likely. But, of course, only time will tell with Zellweger. Next up, then, I have Pavel Mintyukov. And if you thought Zellweger was good, Mintyukov is better. And I'm actually shocked about this. I did make my top 50 prospects on my Instagram account, so if you guys want to go check that out. But I had Mintyukov ranked decently low on that list. And I will post it here eventually. But I had Mintyukov ranked decently low. And looking at these stats now, I'd actually have him ranked a little bit higher. Defensive for Moscow, Russia, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's drafted 10th overall in 2022, so obviously a great player there. Was drafted top 10. But in 69 games with the 67s and the Spirit, he had 33 goals, 64 assists for 97 points. That is unheard of as a defenseman in that league. That is really good. And it shows that he has some very dynamic offensive upside and could be a prominent player in the NHL for years to come on that blue line there. So Zellweger and Mintyukov alone are looking very hopeful as great players there on that Ducks blue line. And a blue line that took a lot of hits this past year with injuries and all that. And adding him to Drysdale, and already that solid decor, it's looking pretty good for him. Finally, I have Lucas Dostal, who is technically still a prospect, even though he played a lot of games with the Ducks this past season. Goalie from Brno, Czech Republic, 6', 274 pounds. Won the Hlinka Memorial Silver in 2017-18. Drafted 85th overall in 2018. So, of course, as I mentioned with all the other prospect pool overviews, goalies do take a while to get there and develop. So, of course, Dostal, took that same path. 19 games this past year with the Ducks, a 4-10-3 record, a 3.78 goals against average, and a .901 save percentage. For a team with a blue line that was depleted and, they were facing a lot of shots per game, I'd say a .901 is pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. But then with the goals, he had an 11-21 record, a 2.97 goals against average, and a .912 save percentage through 44 games. The idea is for him to likely be the backup for this coming season and play that backup role. So I think it's very good there to have him on the roster, and definitely hopeful for what is coming with Anaheim and net. And we'll see how Dostal pans out this coming season. Other prospects in the system besides those core five, you got defenseman Drew Helleson, who could be a hopeful top four or bottom four defender. A left wing / right wing Sasta Pasujov. He's looking like he could be a positive player. Goalie Kale Klang and defenseman Jackson Lacombe are some other guys in that Ducks prospect system. But anyways, that does it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe on down below. I greatly appreciate it. We will do another team either tomorrow or Sunday. I haven't decided what I want to do tomorrow just yet. But anyways, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.